You know they got that same name, but different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keisha,
knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Keisha, you don't got it, you can get some if you hurt them.
Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't got it, you can get some if you hurt them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
It's episode 7. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Girl, I can't believe we've already done 6 episodes.
Oh my God, Keisha. Now remember, we sat at the, where were we?
Liza Jackson Park.
Yes, and we went and had some breakfast at IHOP. And I said, hey, we gonna do this? And you were like, I'm in. I said, well, and we had to get consistent because we knew, we were like, what day will be the best day for us to tape, to do our thing? And so I think God is just going to reward our diligence because, I mean, I'm so excited. Like, people call me, people, comment on social media. I mean, we really need to, like, stretch this follower. Like, I had a guy who I worked with years ago when I was in Chicago, Nate, real big, lovable teddy bear. And Nate was like, y'all got something going on with that, Keisha. So shout out to you, Nate.
All right, Nate. And my son was like, Mom, are you mentioning me on this podcast? My 20-year-old son is saying his friends are like, that city Keisha and that country Keisha is lit.
Hey, baby.
We lit.
We the frizzle manizzles.
All right.
Listen, let me tell you this real quick before we get into the recap. So I was talking to my kids, and they were like, Miss Keisha, your phone is boring. I said, what do you mean? Because we were trying to do a group me for my step-10 kids. They was like, you don't put emojis after your friends' names and stuff? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, if you don't have an emoji after your name, you ain't popping. So they started showing me the emojis after my name because they have to have my name. It had like fire, 100, and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't do that. And they went through my phone and was like, you don't have anybody with emojis?
No.
So that's the thing the kids are doing now. How hot you are and how whatever, they put these little emojis by.
Thank God I'm grown.
Okay. All right. But I just thought that was cute. They were like, you ain't popping. Right.
I pay bills and stuff.
Okay.
They got time for that.
Some dollar bills behind your name, huh?
Okay.
All right. Can we recap?
You go first with this mess.
No, I can't. Because it's going to make me cry.
I'm about to slap this off.
I am, because it's so sad. So you must go. Tell us what we talked about first.
Oh, you gonna talk about Melania Trump?
No, we ain't talking about Melania. We do a pre-planning meeting and we scratch stuff off, and clearly she wasn't paying attention when we were doing it because she did not scratch off Melania.
All right, we're gonna recap on the white people calling the police on the black people for doing stuff that ain't no business for the police to be there.
Listen, Keisha, I keep going back, and I don't agree with much you say.
Girl, I know it. But
I just, when you said if nobody's dying and there is no real emergency, why are you calling the police for everything? So the dude, he was walking his kid. The baby had a fever. He stayed home with them. He's walking him in the park to get some air, and this woman calls the police.
Okay, and what was her concern?
That suspicious black man
with a baby. Girl, a black man with a baby. Honey, what is you talking about? What was he doing with the baby? Walking with the baby? Okay, we're going to move on. Okay. The next one, the crazy meme lady, and I heard she was a professor at a college. She is a professor at a college. Called because the black people were having a barbecue in the park where you're supposed to barbecue at. And she can't do it because the charcoal's in there ruin the environment.
Oh my God.
And she called the police.
Okay, wait. But then the guy he was doing his job, he's an inspector of houses. Did you see that one? And he was pulling off one of the boards so he can go in and inspect the house. And the woman next door, a white woman, called the police. So the police came out. Said he was breaking in. And wanted to know what he was doing and how long he was going to be able to. And I applaud the police because it was a white cop. And he said to him, she was like, ma'am, if I come back out here because you're disturbing him, I'm going to arrest you. And he said, yeah, you're going to get arrested. But it was just,
and then the other black guy who just bought the house in the new neighborhood who went to inspect his house. I don't know, is that the same
No, in New York. That's what you're talking about from last week. Okay.
This was in Tennessee. He bought, see what I'm saying? We getting them all confused because there's too many of them. Too many. The black guy bought his house and he went to look at it, had the key to the house, the contract that he just signed for the house.
Right.
And the lady said the people wouldn't have sold that house to him.
Now, wait a minute.
And she called the police.
Now, wait a minute now. See, the girl, she a student at Yale. Sleeping while black. She got called because she was sleeping while black. Come on, y'all.
In the common area.
We're going to move on.
These folks ain't went to nobody college.
No.
Girl, I don't know. They don't understand.
What else we got? Because I can't even do it.
Did we hit on all of them?
It don't matter.
I think
just
we
keep
did.
moving.
Keep moving, okay. All right. Our girl Cardi B, we were singing her song last week.
No, that is not her song.
That is Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars's song.
But she's
Cardi all right. She ain't my
Yes.
girl. That's your girl. She cool.
Oh, she my girl. Because
Okay.
I like that. I like to see sisters doing well.
Yes. But
And-
that song was finessed before she got on and remade it, which she did a good job with. Even though I didn't like her performance on some award show she did, it was kind of corny. But I mean, I appreciate her hustle. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you come from the pole and you winning Grammys and doing all that kind of stuff,
Hey, her hustle
make it,
is
as
a
she
hustle.
say, some shmoney.
Hey, what we say, what has been our theme about having many hustles and about making your
you
money?
have to.
So we got to applaud the sister for that.
Absolutely, I give
now,
you
what's
that.
up with Azalea Banks?
I don't even know who the hell that is. Let's just start.
I was going to ask you who she was.
So next. All right,
I
the
don't even
feud.
know not one song she
Girl.
do that
The
make
feud.
you,
Listen, we move next. The
Okay.
feud between Camille Cosby and Keisha Knight Pulliam.
Okay, didn't I tell y'all last week Camille need to have her head examined, get an MRI or something, because this sister has clearly lost her mind.
Hey, she got the ride until the wheels fall off. I told you that. Her
yeah, but
husband,
you ain't got to start feuds.
well,
She said that people that
Camille
used
probably
to
don't even know.
support
She
her
said it
husband, huh?
how old is she?
Who, Camille?
Yeah.
Old as hell. Do they answer that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she in her 70s.
I say that because she probably don't even remember having this fight with Keisha, and we up here talking about it.
No, she remember because she brought it up. She's saying that she supported him, now she's not supporting him. Keisha got her own damn problems.
Yes, she do.
Okay.
Baby daddy problems.
Okay,
Child
she ain't
support
caught her
problems.
damn self. Mm-hmm. How she gonna support him? And he already been convicted. What else can she do?
She ain't little Rudy no more. Get your life, Keisha. Okay, next. Well, we got the college graduation cheers at ASU. My nephew graduated this Saturday, and Keisha and I attended. We attended his ceremony, and it was really a great ceremony. Now, I will say this before we talk about anything else. There's a couple of things I did not like.
Why?
You were you were already gone.
You
Wait.
I go to a HBCU.
It does not matter.
Yes, it does.
It does not. Okay, so does it matter that? Okay, so they're trying to get the processional to go out, right?
Yes.
To me, I just respect tradition. And I respect the fact that that's a ceremony. And I feel like if our kids start disrespecting ceremony, simple things like that ceremony, then what else? You know what I'm saying? There's no limit to it. So they had these grown kids, because that's what I'm going to call them, because they old enough. And instead of waiting their turn to leave out like everybody else, so they got the little march going and letting everybody go, they just started coming up in the stands and leaving. And I did not like that.
I understand, but you didn't go to HBCU. All of that is free
No,
for
I'm
all.
not gonna
I'm
let
sorry,
you put
it's
that
the
on
truth.
HBCUs.
I'm sorry.
Because so then what are you saying? That's how
What?
black people act.
No, I'm saying.
Okay, then what?
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with you participating in the ceremony and leaving out. Instead of doing that, you just break the whole chain up and walk out and walk up the stairs with your families and
You
go.
can do that.
Okay.
You got what they gonna do?
Well, you know
You
what?
gonna get
It ain't got
arrested.
nothing to do with being arrested. It has something to do with respecting ceremony. When you agree to be a part of that ceremony,
I don't.
you agree to that. That's the bottom line. If you didn't
Okay.
want to participate in the ceremony, don't participate. But don't disrespect what you should be doing in the ceremony, because you had the choice to not participate. So then now you gonna be feeling entitled and you gonna write the rules up. I'm gonna participate how I want to participate. No, they told you there's a tradition, there's things you do, it's a ceremony. If you choose to buy that cap and gown and participate, then you participate. And that's the thing that we have to teach our kids.
Why?
Because I just think it's disrespectful. And I think
it
our
doesn't
students,
matter.
it does matter.
It does
It
not.
matters huge.
No,
because
go
once
vote.
you start,
Go vote. That matters,
listen, no, then don't be a part of the ceremony.
Don't be a part of the ceremony. See, the Keisha said, "Don't y'all be a part of the ceremony."
No, I don't need nobody speaking for me. I'm being
No, you
honest
said it.
because it speaks to more than just not participating in the ceremony.
Let me move on from that. So it was a.
I'm not gonna let you move on from it because I want to say what I have to say, Keisha, and I need you to understand that's the problem with so many
I'm
kids.
still on it, but the Kappa that
Whatever.
strutted across the stage,
Which
and
added
did his
to
thing.
disrespect.
What we was what? Go, brother, go! You did that. I was sitting next to his father. His father was standing up, videoing it, and when he saw his son do that, he sat down and was so embarrassed.
Because his son
and
was
I
warned.
Like, don't be embarrassed.
He was warned.
Oh, brother.
No, his son was warned, and he was told not to do that.
I pat that
shimmy.
father on the back and said,
No.
"That brother did that. You do it. There you go."
Your ignorant tail is the
That's
reason
right,
why you
right.
can't have nothing. That's not
We
funny.
got everything.
No, it's not funny.
We just don't know
But you
how
know
to
what?
get it.
But the thing about it is, you'll make fun of that. But then when they out here doing crazy stuff that can get them killed or doing other things, then you want to talk about how it's not right. Like there's
You're going too far. What
No,
is crazy
I'm not.
things?
I'm
Wait a minute,
not.
are you saying
I'm
living
not.
your life?
I'm
living
not.
your life or get
That
you
ain't living
killed?
your life,
What's
baby.
crazy then? What do you
All I'm
consider?
saying to you is
If
that when you do not have a marker, when you cannot respect things that you agree that you participate in, I'm just saying when you can't, then you lead yourself into disrespecting all other kind of stuff. It's the same thing. If you walk in the store, it makes a difference. Okay, we'll move on.
cares?
You're right. I care. That's why my child
You
won't
care
do
too
it.
damn much.
Yeah.
Let them folks have their time
Nope.
and move on. The ceremony's over.
Okay, what you know, no good. I'm
She's
salty.
salty.
I'm not
Girl, get that
salty.
salty.
No.
Okay, the royal wedding is happening this weekend. Are we gonna get up at 4 a.m., City Keisha, and watch the first black female to enter the family?
Nope, because they're going to replay it 5,000 times. I catch it on the rerun.
But you got to catch it the first round.
Nope, it'll be the
Oh,
same
but
thing. It's the
let's
same
talk
thing.
about this royal wedding. Our first black sister gonna enter into this family, right? Why her white family acting a damn fool? What is wrong with her white family? It ain't the black folks this time. You remember you talking about ceremony and all this stuff? What you just said, why the white folks acting a fool?
Why you acting a fool? Why you can't roll with
I'm
him
just
like you rolling
asking.
with the Kappa?
No, I'm asking you, why they acting a fool?
Up to your standards, they're not acting a fool.
Well, that ain't what I'm saying. They ain't
Okay.
at the ceremony. I'm saying they are showing their tail right now.
What
When
is he doing?
What you just said, black people show their tail.
What is he doing?
The white folks show
What is he
their tail.
doing? What is he doing to show us
Oh,
tail?
first of all, he was out there stretching and pretending like he getting ready to walk her down the aisle, knowing he ain't walking her down
He
the aisle.
just living his life,
He
Keisha.
getting paid by TMZ.
What's wrong with that? That's living his life.
That ain't. I didn't say.
Get your money, boy.
Excuse me. I
See?
never said anything was wrong. I said, why is he out there acting a fool?
Well,
and that don't seem to upset you.
No.
The black people
What?
upset you. The white people don't. Okay, we got you, City Keisha.
Nope. You will not
We got
put
you.
words
Yes,
in my mouth.
I got you.
I am trying to get to a very clear understanding about what you're saying. What is acting a fool? Like you still have not addressed that.
Because her white family has been had all controversy about being invited or not being invited, or they're going to come to the ceremony or they're not going to come to the ceremony. They've been leaking stuff to TMZ. So I'm saying they're the ones who have been all out there and up front. And her black family has been quiet. Her mom is there now, meeting the Queen of England. She's not out there stretching, trying to pretend like she's going to walk her down the aisle.
All I'm saying, okay, you're right. Aaron, what's his last name?
Schlossberg.
Okay, he's a white supremacist lawyer for what? Trump?
For Trump.
Okay,
You
and
see
what?
the video?
No, I
it
did
came out
not.
today. So he was in a, not Whole Foods, but something sort of like a Whole Foods.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, standing in line, and the ladies, it was a customer and the worker, the cashier or whoever, was speaking Spanish, and it upset him. He said, if you're in America, you should only speak English. What is it?
Well, here's the deal. You said he is a lawyer for Trump.
Yeah, people dug him up.
And the big deal is that right now.
Oh, he's not a lawyer for Trump. I'm sorry.
Oh.
He's
A lawyer that supports Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I mean, it's fair because that's exact attitude reflects leadership. When you got a leader
It's
and
not
his
fair.
views, it absolutely when
It
you
absolutely
have
is not fair.
when you're in your home and you allow things to happen in your home, and your kids do the things that they do. It's because you allow them to do it. We are in America. We have somebody who's standing before us as our leader, who run amok and do whatever. So you got people coming out the woodwork and think that they can behave exactly the same way.
But we
I'm not
also-
saying this right or wrong. What
Okay.
I am saying is that he opens up the door for them to do that.
Well, and that's fine because now we got his phone number, which I posted on my Facebook page if anybody want to call his office. And I also have his website to his law firm. And this is America. You want to be out there showing your tail? Now we all know who you are. Thank you. No white sheets on his head. We know exactly who you are. Aaron Schlossberg.
All right.
And I got to mention that the people can speak 2 languages. Is that what upset him? Because he can only speak 1? And I'm a little afraid that he's in New York City. Do you know how many languages are spoken in New York City? You know how many people come to New York City that speak different languages? What kind of ignorant food is this?
What's crazy is that they probably need to get, what's the brother name who go back and do all of your heritage and all that kind of stuff when he does that
Henry
show?
Louis Gates.
Yeah,
Skip.
they probably need to get.
Oh, I watched Skip.
They
On
probably,
PBS, baby.
yes, they probably need to get Skip to do his lineage and just see exactly where that dude coming
Or they
from.
probably just need to get Samuel Jackson to slap the hell out of him.
Well.
we don't need to do no lineage. Slap the hell out of him. He'll snap out of
You'd be
it.
surprised how many of them up in here doing all this professing and all this kind of stuff.
They got
and they,
black in their family. We know.
Hispanic and everything else. But okay. All right. So Uber will no longer force drivers to, in arbitration, I'm sorry, that say they have been sexually assaulted. Because, they were hushing all these people up because when you sign on to be an Uber driver or to take Uber, you sign basically a contract that said that you can't put them in arbitration. And so there were people who've been sexually assaulted by drivers because they signed up for Uber. And you know how you just click the box like everybody else, don't look at the terms or
You
whatever.
better start reading.
And
Reading is our main problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate the fact that it has been some strong efforts to try to overturn that, and that it's actually working. So that's good.
So you're saying they're not going to be forced into arbitration, which means they can't meet up to come to terms of agreement, so they can be
Prosecuted.
prosecuted. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
that
good.
was just, I really did. I thought that was just something
That goes back to the Me Too movement. We've got to start holding these people accountable, whether they're Uber drivers, big movie stars, or producers, directors, police officers, whatever they are. We're going to start holding them accountable. Whether you are Kelly, we don't care. We don't care.
Oh, Ara. Bless
Girl,
his heart.
Chicago about to shut him out too.
Silence R. Kelly.
Mute.
Okay.
Scott Peterson, the cop who didn't go into the building during Parkland School.
Girl, do you know how much?
The biggest damn coward ever.
What? Wait a minute. This is the thing that gets me. That dude is bringing in $8,200 a month
From his pension.
Listen,
for being a sorry ass cop.
and his salary was over $100,000 when he was on the force. Now let's just be clear.
Wait. Who pay his salary? Because I live in Florida. You live in Florida.
That's what.
We pay this fool salary.
I'm just
and
saying.
He need to go protect our children.
Listen, I'm saying you got these young cops out here getting gunned down, trying to run into buildings to help people or whatever, and they making $30,000 and $40,000. You making $101,000.
You got the brother at Waffle House with no weapon, snatching a gun from somebody. Ain't a police officer. And you know the police officer is supposed to serve and protect. This man stood out there and was like, I hear gunshots.
He was serving up some drinks to the people who were standing outside with him, I guess.
Girl,
I don't know.
He ain't moving. And then I'm sitting there going, really? Really?
$8,200 a month, though.
Girl, I can tell you to be honest.
That's why he didn't go up in that building.
I can tell you to be honest, if it was a penny, I'd still be mad. Because honestly, you did nothing for these kids, and that was your job. Nobody, and the guy at Waffle House, it wasn't even his job. That just tell you the moral standards that you were talking about earlier. See, that guy at Waffle House probably was strutting across the stage when he got his degree.
All right, we're going to keep it moving. I was just really a little concerned about the fact that this man was making all this money. He wasn't doing a
Well,
dang
and
on
that's what
thing.
he's supposed to do for us.
Okay. Absolutely, but he was still making a whole bunch of money to do nothing. All right, what you doing? What you talking about now?
Oh boy, this North Korea and South Korea. See, I follow the news, and I know last week everybody was saying how Trump is bringing it down. He's taking care of North Korea and South Korea. He did a great job. Now this week, North Korea said they don't want to meet. They gonna put it back on the fence. So that means Trump, do we get to cuss him out now? Because he ain't did a great job. Because, you know, he always winning, but we keep losing. He win and we losing.
Here, this is what I think. You ready?
Yeah.
I think we need to go on the silence Trump movement.
I don't think so.
Because he needs to shut the hell up.
Oh, you talking about, mute Trump. Oh, God, I thought you were talking about me. Oh, yeah, mute Trump. I'm with you on that one.
Why you always think everything about you?
Girl, because I'm special.
Dang. Okay, next thing. No, I don't want to talk about Israel. You want to talk about Israel?
fine.
Talk about Israel.
Okay, we decided to have a U.S. embassy in Israel, and the United States has stayed out of that because the tensions are so high there.
Religious tensions.
Yes, yeah, don't even get me started. For some reason, the Christian folks here think they got a connection to Israel, and they want to protect Israel at all costs. But the Palestinian people, and I never understand this about Christians, because we're supposed to love everybody, right? But I guess not the Palestinians. I'm just asking, because more Palestinians have died since we announced that we're having a U.S. embassy in Israel.
Did you say Trump open embassy or Christians open embassy? What did you say?
First of all,
I asked the question. Answered the question.
I said Trump.
Okay, so your last comment about Christians loving everybody. I'm a Christian, and yes, I do have respect for people, and every day I wake up trying to be more like God, and if that means loving everybody, trust me, it can be a struggle.
It means loving everybody.
It is a struggle every day for me to, and I won't even say a struggle. I would say it's growth. It's growth, because I know that on the rare occasion that I do get aggravated and not show love to a person, I generally feel bad about it and either fix it or at least repent for it. But I mean, so to compare them to with Israel, I mean, he opened up that embassy. It was a bad idea. He needed to stay out of it and let them deal with their with their religious issues.
But the Christian evangelicals here are backing him for doing that. His supporters wanted that.
I get you.
Yeah,
but I'm not a Trump supporter. No, and I am a Christian. So I'm just saying in general.
And I think we use the term Christian loosely.
How?
Because some people that say they're Christians aren't Christians. And I'm not talking about you. I'm saying the evangelical people, if they think they're calling themselves Christians, but they're not following Jesus' teachings, which is to love one another.
Okay. All right.
We'll move on. You got it, Keisha.
No, because the White House aide that said that she was not worried about Senator McCain. I mean, just the stuff that goes back to what I was just saying to you. Like, attitude reflects leadership.
Well,
hold on for a second. I want to ask you a question, which I think I already know the answer from you. But if this woman was a part of a different administration, she's part of the Obama administration. That wouldn't have happened, or it would have been corrected so quickly. And I'm not saying that Obama was perfect. I'm not saying that he made all the right decisions.
Compared to this man.
Well, but the reason why I'm saying that is because in the effort to stay, I mean, that's a huge job, and it's a lonely place. I get being a president is pretty lonely, because you do have to put yourself in a position where you're constantly trying to view all sides, and so you try
Except he's not doing that.
Well, I'm saying,
I mean, as a real president, but
correct.
You say as a fake president, he ain't viewing nobody's side but his.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
Well,
and yes, and that's what I'm saying about having a strong cabinet, having it a diverse cabinet, having a cabinet that's not going to be a bunch of yes men, and being able to sit down and not blast them out every time they disagree with you, but can sit in the room. Because I'm pretty sure there was a lot of heated discussions when Barack Obama was president, because he couldn't get a lot of stuff done in the Congress or the Senate because of all the issues. And so there was probably some real stuff happening in those meetings that we will never, ever know about. Maybe through a transcript after he passes away that our kids, get their hands on or whatever. But this president, says everything, puts out everything, blasts people. And it's like, where's the integrity? But you're not talking about that China deal where you then all these billions of dollars.
Line his own pockets. Well, and I'm going to say this for the White House aide. Regardless of your leadership, I say this is, you ain't got sense. Why would you be talking about a dying man? I'm gonna add this to it too. We're all dying. You don't know the day nor the hour when you're gonna leave here. Correct? So I didn't vote for Senator McCain, but I really do respect him, and to know that he's going through cancer. You have them all running around here. Cancer victim, and then this is a cancer victim, and you still acting like.
Well, he had already disrespected him, saying because he got caught. Because he got.
And I mean, the disrespect is on a whole nother level. And the White House is so white. This the whitest White House since George Washington.
Well, then he made a bad choice, and it's Betsy DeVos, or what's her name?
DeVos,
right, Betsy DeVos. And she is backing the for-profit universities like Phoenix and DeVry and Capella, and all of these people are promising things that they cannot deliver on. And so they're kind of doing this
And
false,
taking your money.
and take your money, doing this false advertisement. And I mean, this woman alone, like, and then this is how crazy it is. The person she put in charge. Did you hear about that?
No, but
Listen,
she's in charge.
the person
so
she put in charge to oversee the investigation of DeVry and Phoenix and Capella used to be the dean at DeVry.
What we just said about NBC investigating themselves. There's some cricket peaches out here. I ain't want to say the peaches. I'm saying they just cricket, and then they tell us how we cricket. No, y'all.
Well, I'm gonna
cricket.
tell you this. What's his name? That one football player who was doing them Phoenix commercials. His mom had passed, and he was listening to the voice message all the time. Did you ever see them videos?
Yes, I did.
Go get your money, boy. And anybody else who went to Capella of Phoenix or University of Phoenix or the
I
right?
went to Phoenix.
Okay, go get your money.
Girl, I've
Go get your money.
been calculating. I already spent it.
Okay, so pop culture. Megan Fox.
Whew.
She is being shamed over a pic with her sons having long hair.
Tell me
I mean,
about it,
these
girl.
women were clowning her, saying that they look like girls and they're going to be confused with their identity and blah, 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 because she wouldn't cut. I mean, because they have like, shoulder or maybe a little bit further length hair.
Have you heard of minding your own damn business? Stay out of this woman damn business. Her kids, are they starving? Do they have
No.
clothes on?
Yes.
Do they have a shelter?
And they were at the beach, and so their hair was a little disheveled or whatever, and these
Who
women went in
cares?
on her, and I was like, really?
They better be glad.
They might be at home raising serial killers.
She just said, Miss, your son, bitch, mind your business. What is wrong with you?
Okay, so there was a porn star who accused old Stormy Daniels
My boo.
of doing nothing when she was being groped by a male adult film star doing the filming of an adult film.
Okay, is this bitch stupid? Is the porn star stupid? Ain't that her job to get groped by a male porn star?
She said that, I take it back.
Please take that back.
It wasn't the porn, it wasn't a star, it was one of the crew members had grabbed her butt. And so she was upset about it, and she took it to Stormy Daniels. And Stormy Daniels, who's such an advocate for women right now and being treated fairly, did nothing.
What did she took it to a porn star and she wanted something to be done. The porn star, that's her job. She should have said, bitch, get $10. But you get paid for that. This is not free.
Okay, I said, are you serious right now? And I had, okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
Let's take a different approach to this.
All right.
This is this woman's profession.
Yes.
She's a porn star. She's at
Yes.
work. And, when she comes into the room and does her bow chicka wow wow thing, that's one thing.
Bow chicka wow.
But when
wow.
she's sitting chilling, eating a snack, she shouldn't be groped in the butt.
But why should she take it to Stormy Daniels?
Because Stormy Daniels was the producer of the show.
Okay.
Your
What she
girl
wants
was
to say? What she wants to-
She wants Stormy to take some action. She said, Stormy, don't be up here on news and everything.
Stormy slept with Donald Trump.
Hey, I'm just telling
So
you.
you thought she would go?
She said because she's been taking this stand.
But, no. Let's get it. Donald Trump said on a hot mic that you just grab them by the PUSSY.
Okay.
And they don't care.
Well, I'm just telling
When
you
you
what.
got money. And she slept with Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And so this lady went to Stormy, expecting Stormy to do something about a man
Because she
groping
said-
her on a porn set
Well, the woman
in an adult
Well, the
film.
woman said that Stormy Daniels was out here,
But can I say this? How long ago was that?
This just happened.
When?
This is recently. Like literally. Don't be trying to take up for your girl. Your girl,
First of all, my girl is right.
they
where she's supposed to
got HR. She should have sent the girl to
be. No, the
HR.
girl should took herself to HR.
Well, maybe that wasn't the protocol. Maybe it was to bring it to the producer first.
Now, you stop trying to throw Stormy down. And see, when she bring down Trump, don't jump over here with me and Stormy. We gonna drop kick you back across the room. Because me and Stormy got this. Go, Stormy, bring down Trump. And if anybody come to you, tell her, bitch, go over there and tell somebody, this is an adult film set. If you don't want your ass being groped, then you in the wrong business. acting like she was a waitress at a restaurant.
This woman
is at an adult film.
This woman, she got rights. She got rights.
Adult film. She is her ass out to get screwed on video, and she got upset because somebody groped her butt.
She did.
I don't understand.
But she got rights.
She got rights. I'm saying don't get mad at Stormy. You ain't mad at the person.
Stormy was the producer.
But you're not.
Hold on now, because we just but how many producers we just got rid of that were males? Cause some foolishness.
Excuse me, they were grabbing people. No. They were grabbing and touching people.
I get that, but
Stormy didn't touch nobody.
Okay.
So you need to be mad at the right person.
You know what?
Stormy.
Let me tell you who I'm mad at. Let me tell you who I'm mad at. Wait. Let me tell you who I'm mad at. I'm mad at you because you sitting up here strongly defending some porn star and her business.
First of all, don't be mad at me because I already told you I was Team Stormy.
All right.
While you brought this mess on our list, while you tried to stir a mess between me and Stormy, we still together, boo.
Well, good. I'm glad y'all still together. All right, Michigan State settled with is it Nassar victims?
Yeah, Larry Nassar.
Yeah, Larry Nassar for $500 million for his sexual assault.
For the girls that were in gymnastics.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he was.
But I'm like,
doctor.
you know what? I know as a young girl it can be very difficult. You're already, awkward, and especially them gymnasts because they don't develop the right way and stuff. And then to have this man take advantage of them, that was just so sad.
He did it in front of their parents. He had a sheet up and he would be fondling them with their parents and the parents didn't even know because they trusted this doctor. And the sad part is Michigan State knew that there were cases and nobody took this man down.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that we keep talking about, the Me Too movement and the men that are sexually assaulting women. There is a band of people who know who do nothing. What are you doing?
You're right. Okay, so this whole phenomenon with Yanni and Laurel, right?
Yes.
I'm just telling you that we're so different that Keisha pulled this up on YouTube, played it, and we argued for 30 seconds on the fact that I heard Yanni and she heard Laurel. And there was no way. Like, listen.
Yanni.
You hear?
Laurel.
No.
Laurel.
Laurel.
It says Yanni. She is so special, and that's how crazy. See that? Isn't that crazy? I mean, like I said, same name, different brain. This is just our thing, because I mean, clear as day. I hear Yanni, but that is so crazy. So we went up, dug a little bit further, and we realized that if you have young ears, you hear Yanni, and if your ears
if you're beautiful, you hear Laurel.
Oh God! And then in addition to that, they were just saying if you're primed, like if somebody tells you what to hear first, you hear that, and just all that, and how the sound itself is so close to where it can flip like that. So that's interesting that this little person did that. So anyway, thank you for that little entertainment.
Devices, if you're listening on TV, the phone, or the computer, you might hear something different.
Well, we want to thank them for that little entertainment. That was pretty cool. All right, so what's black a lacking, girl? What's black a lacking?
Ain't nothing wrong with being black.
Ain't nothing wrong with being black, girl.
What?
We were at a graduation. We talked about that earlier. And the commencement speaker, his name was Duncan Kirkwood, and he was really phenomenal. He was a young guy, had graduated from ASU in 2007, and he's an alpha, and he talked. I mean, he just gave them some good nuggets. Like, I hope those kids were there listening, because the first thing he said was, let me tell y'all something. Ain't nothing wrong with being black.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with being black. And that was just kind of cool that he said that in that way. Like, stop trying to make excuses. And then he says, do not apologize for your passion.
Yes.
Do the thing you're passionate about and don't apologize for it.
No. And don't make any excuses.
No.
Just do it.
If you are an artsy person that's weird and you think weird, but do what you love to do.
I'm with you. And he said, don't worry about the failures.
Yeah.
Get back up.
You gotta fail, baby.
He said, get back up.
Yeah, you gotta fail.
And then the failures make you really work harder and do better.
Yeah.
If you ain't never failed at nothing,
what? Girl, I used this from Jay-Z one time. He was doing Oprah's master's class, and he said that he was like, she asked him what he had learned from his success, and he said absolutely nothing. Everything I've learned have come from my failure. All them times he cheated on his wife, he had to learn something because she was gone.
Oh, you just need to stop it. Don't be
His sister
talking about
was
that.
gonna let him have it in that elevator, baby.
She did let him have it. And the wife ain't do nothing. I'm still trying to figure out why she didn't go up his head.
Sometimes you just,
But it's all good. They still married. They happy. They got Lemonade and Blueprints and what else they got? What's the little baby name now?
You said Blueprints?
Yeah, Blueprints.
Blue Ivy?
Yeah, but he had an album called Blueprints.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the churn. That's what I said. I was like, you didn't call these babies churn. Okay.
Hey, well, he like blue.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever floats their boat. Okay. To be or not to be. Guess who get married?
Who get married?
Girl,
to Roger P.
Yes. Cookie, baby. Cookie say, y'all better watch out. And he younger than her.
What?
Little retired NBA star. And
they've been dating, not NBA, NFL.
NFL star.
They've been dating 2 years without anybody knowing. Keep your business off social media. You better tell them, TP.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I'm just proud that she's happy. And it's good, to know when you see that. And for Mother's Day, he proposed to her, and that was cool.
That was beautiful.
What you get for Mother's Day?
Girl, I got a lot for Mother's Day.
You did?
I got kisses from my grandma. What? We were kissing and hugging all Sunday.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
She only one want to kiss me, so we'll roll with that. I got a gift card to Panera, a bunch of Bath and Body Works, and I got me an African print skirt that go down to my ankle. Girl, I can't wait to wear it.
Can't wait to wear it? Okay,
Yes.
do your thing. Where you get your skirt from?
I don't know the name of the place, but my son bought it for me. I begged for it.
Oh, locally or he got it?
Locally, yes.
Cool. Okay.
At the place you sent me.
Oh, okay.
Anna's.
Anna's?
Girl, I'm calling out people. I need a check, Anna.
You ignorant.
I need a check for the endorsement.
Okay, but anyway, so
What'd you get?
Well, my baby bought me this, speaking of endorsements, Alex and Ani bracelet. And it has these little hands, and it says, I forgot what
That's why she asked me, because she wanted to tell me what she got. What you
it says something, it's basically about as long as I...
What if I ain't got nothing?
What if you didn't get nothing?
Yeah, what if I ain't get nothing?
Well, shame on you. Be a better mama.
Oh, I'm a good mama.
Okay, then.
I just wanted her on her kisses.
Okay. Well, I did that and went to brunch. Then my mom and my grandmother was here. And so we took a generation picture because I had my nieces and then me and then my mom and my grandmother. So it was 4 generations of women. My grandmother at 86, baby. I'm going to tell you, she's still doing her thing. But
Your grandma 86, mine's 84.
Like
That's how
51st
we
day.
kiss
So
and hug
sometimes, baby, because sometimes you be like, Gran,
No, my
I
grandma
told you that.
I bought her. I mean, I handwritten in her card. In her card.
What?
And
You don't know. What are you trying to say?
Girl, I don't know.
Okay.
I need liquor. And so I was telling her how she's the greatest grandma ever. I put all this mushy stuff in it, and she said, "Girl, I almost cried." I said, "What you mean almost? Let you go back and reread that." So
Yeah,
I can
that's the
get
type of stuff I be talking about.
That's
right
what
there.
I'm saying.
Stop being ignorant. No, I'm talking about you being ignorant with the 84-year-old.
She should have shed
You
one
know what?
tear.
It ain't about you.
It was about her shedding one tear.
But it wasn't about you.
And she didn't. Then I framed a picture of me, her, and my aunt in our blue. Blue is my favorite color, and it's my grandma's favorite color.
Okay.
But we were cute, and she loved the picture. Then I printed out some more pictures of because grandma don't have the updated phone with all the pictures, so everybody showing pictures on the phone.
Okay, we get it. You spent some time with your grandmama. All right, let's move on.
Jealous. I
was with my grandmama too. What you said?
Your grandma went hugging and kissing.
You know what? Right. Okay. Dear future daughter-in-law, last week our sons were on the show and they talked about being smart, educated, and knowledgeable. So Keisha's son Aiden said that that's one thing he admires about his mom. So she wants to pass that message along to her future daughter-in-law.
Girl, you better read a book. You better have a degree. You better do something. You can't be dumb. My baby don't like dumb people.
What? And my baby said you better look good without makeup.
Your baby said you better be pretty.
Huh.
That's what he said.
Smart, knowledgeable, and pretty. So
he
hey,
said you
what
can
we
wear
doing?
makeup, but when you take it off,
You better look the same. You better look the same.
you better not look like a whole new being.
Okay, he said he can't handle it. He can't even handle it because guess
I
what? He
respect
grew
that.
up with his mama being beautiful.
What? You better tell it.
All right, I think that's some good advice, especially to them. Like they really need to know that
But you know what I found out about these young mothers, because you know we're a little bit older, that they be looking a mess going up to the kids' school, going. One boy told my son, "Oh, your mama look nice," and I told my son, because his mom over here in some house slippers, something wrapped around her head. Don't do that. Ever. If you somebody's mama, represent as somebody's mama when you go to their school. I mean, if you're in the grocery store, whatever, okay.
What? Whatever in the grocery store
I'm
either.
saying you're going up to the school to talk to them about your child. Look like somebody.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? You're going to ask that boy's mama.
Can I make it real clear?
Yes.
You're saying that if you are going there to the school
Yes.
and represent your family
Yes.
as this boy's mama,
Yes.
please have some respect and put on some nice clothes, look
Yes.
presentable and
Iron 'em.
professional, and let's
Brush your teeth, comb your hair, put on. Listen, if it say house shoes, if you leaving the house, them shoes stay in there. Okay? You need to have on some real shoes when you leave the house.
So let me be real clear right now.
And some earrings.
Let me be real clear on how you know, just like you said, this is just your physical appearance and the things you do reflect who you are.
Yes.
And when you are in certain places and doing certain things, you need to be able to look professional and respectable so that people can respect you.
I'm going to tell you, I've seen
No.
some-
I just want to be clear that we agree with that.
Yes, we agree.
Did we agree? Give me some.
We agree.
When I was talking about this graduation,
You got nothing to do with that. So you can go on. Let me go back to my point, because you ain't got nothing to do with
let
nothing.
me make my point, then I'll move on. So when I was saying pretty much the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. Were they not in a cap and gown?
Okay, go ahead, finish up.
Were they not in a
Go
cap
ahead.
and gown? No,
Finish your
what I
point.
was going to tell you is,
Okay.
some of these parents, some of these mothers, and I'm not just going to speak on the mothers, because we talking about dear future daughter-in-laws. If your clothes look dirty and like you ain't cleaned them, I got a problem. I'm just saying, put on some nice clothes when you go up to represent your child. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You can dance across the thing if your child got good grades.
No.
You can prop it down and drop it if your child got good grades.
No.
See, you don't even listen out of. Okay, next topic.
All right. Hey, black child. You can be who you want to be. Do who you want to do.
Do what you want.
Do what you want. I say do who you want to.
I
I should say
know.
what. What
What's
was
wrong with you,
I know, girl. I'm tripping. Okay, so before we really get into the black child, I told one of my girlfriends I was going to talk about this. One of my girlfriends from work, her son was in an education class, sex education class, with the nurse from his school, and he is in the 7th grade. And she told them, the boys, that if they masturbated too much, that they would not be able to have children when they got older because they would use up all of their sperm.
That's a lie. Men are still having babies at 70 and 80. So she's a lie. She don't know what she's talking about.
This baby
You need to stop telling people lies.
So this baby came home upset, wanted to talk to his mom, was so concerned about it. I mean, outside the fact that his mom found out that he was masturbating because he came home talking about it.
But it's a lie. It's not true. Because we know men can still have babies up into their 70,
Right,
80.
but here's my concern. You are a nurse
telling
with a
lies.
bunch of influential kids in front of you. And because of your preferences, you choose to tell them that lie.
That's a lie.
And she needs to be fired.
Really? She got to be fired?
Yep.
See, we taking it too
Misinformation.
far.
Because what about the kids who don't have a mom they can go home and talk to about
Well,
it?
it ain't. I mean,
See,
honestly, it
is
no
a big
harm,
deal.
no foul.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, you trying to get a fire.
Yeah,
I
you got
see
to
how
go.
you trying to get a fire.
ya.
But I'm gonna say this: the problem with putting that all on the nurse. That's why we still need to talk to our kids.
But
That's
let's
why-
back up
no,
a
no,
second.
I'm saying that's why
You don't
have
sit up
the
and tell your
conversation.
kids that for them that he wouldn't have known that knowledge of it to be able to combat that when she said it. She gave a false statement that was built on a bunch of lies,
But
and
that's
she
why you
propagated
teach your
it.
Kids, that's why. Let me tell you, I have this firm belief. They teach them one way at school, you teach them another way at home. And what I'm saying is, you have to be the person in your child's ear, not the nurse at the school.
I think it takes a village. I think it takes a village.
I'm not saying it doesn't take a village, but you have to stir it to where you want it to go. You're not gonna let the village stir your child in the direction you don't want your child to go in.
Okay.
You got to communicate with your children. Don't put it on the nurse. She wrong. She ass backwards wrong. But that's why you had this discussion with your kids. So you could. So let me tell you what my child.
Because she put it out there.
Well, excuse me.
She
my
has
child,
some ownership in
my
that.
child would have did. My child who said, my mama said you a lie.
Be like Kevin Hart. Miss Green.
Yes. Okay.
My mama told me to tell you
that I know my kids would have said. My mama said.
Okay, so in the Hey Black Child section, we want these kids to really know that they can do what they want to do and be who they want to be. And I did not get a chance to do this when I was in Montgomery because we headed back home. But you went to the Legacy Museum.
Country Keisha went to the Legacy Museum.
How was it?
It was inspiring, eye-opening, disturbing, because it's right there in your face. The first thing you do when you come in, there's this big artwork that's up that tells you that you're standing where they used to sell slaves. Mm-hmm. You're standing there where they used and so you're like, wow, we're standing here in where the marketplace, and then you see the map showing you how, and it was a lot of slave traders, slave investors is what they call, and it was like, that was big business. So we talk about the civil rights movement as, you know, they would say, oh, it was about wanting to split from the United States, you know, secede from the United States. No, it was about business.
Well, we know that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what I'm trying to get across to everyone.
Because of the way the people in the South made money from the land. In the North, they started doing industrialization, and so they made money differently than the people in the South.
But what I want to get across, so that even though we know that the money itself was big business. Everybody had their hand in slave trade.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to get across. Because, you know, when you listen to some of the rhetoric with the Confederates, you know, people who idolize the Confederate, oh, we just want to maintain. No, it was about money.
Girl, I have a girlfriend, and she was almost not a girlfriend when she tried to tell me about, you know, when the whole Confederate flag thing was a big deal. And I grew up in Alabama, and this happened and that happened, and there are people who didn't have a problem with this and that. But I said, girl, if they were black, she's a white woman. I said, come on now. Whew, it took me a whole lot to have a conversation with her after that. I mean, she was brainwashed from a kid, and to believe that certain things. So
I used to sub back in the day, and I had.
They let you watch people.
Girl,
kids?
that's what I said. Look, my mama said they ain't gonna ask you to come back no more. Well, and the kids had the Confederate flag, and they were idolizing, and they were middle school age kids, and I was asking them, did they know anything about it? And they was like, that, you know, they were saying all this glorious stuff. And I was like, you do know they lost, right? And they was like, no, I didn't know that. Oh, they didn't tell you that? And you do know if they hadn't lost, I could not be teaching you.
Oh, no, but and that's so sad
they
about
don't
the
tell them
babies.
that.
No.
And so I told them that. I was like, I could not be in this classroom with you now as your teacher.
I'm going to tell you this. Years ago in Chicago, museums are huge, and Black History Month is huge. Growing up, it was like, I mean, my fifth grade teacher, you didn't graduate out of her class after fifth grade without knowing the Black National Anthem. That was just the way it went down.
All right, girl.
And to this day, I know it because of Miss Marshall. I love you, Miss Marshall. If she ever hears this, I'm not sure if she's still alive, but if she is, you're amazing. And she was a sister, baby, and bad to the bone. Like, I model myself after her. But at any rate, they used to, at the DuSable Museum, they had bought this exhibit. And the exhibit was a slave ship. And when you walked past certain sensors and stuff, certain things would trigger and happen. So when you walked in, as soon as you got past the door, you heard them treating you like a slave. And then these pictures would pop up or these things would show. And you really, by the time you got to the end of it, it was this experience to where they had like this bench, just like thought bench. And you sat there because you had to gather yourself. Like, that experience was so intense that. And that's 400 years later. So it's like, can you imagine during that time? Well,
that's part of the Legacy Museum. You go through that. One of the first things I read, well, actually, when we first walk in, you realize that you're on this block and that they show you how downtown Montgomery had the slave investors. You go around, they had these holograms of slaves behind a jail cell, and they're telling their stories. One lady is singing old Negro hymns, and I mean, just belting them out. One lady's telling you about how they snatched her baby. One guy's telling you about how he want to run, but he can't. And about how his family got taken away from him.
You know who need to go to that?
Who? Kanye, girl, I know. Because once we come out of that, you have this information out in front of you on the wall, and I'm reading it. And one thing that I heard that I read was 2 million Africans jumped off those ships and committed suicide. 2 million Africans killed themselves because they did not want to be enslaved. And knowing that I knew people committed, people jumped off the ships, but the number, I'm a numbers person.
Right.
2 million in the course of 400 years.
That's devastating.
It's devastating. Well, I say 400 years, but yeah. And then we turn around and then you go, it takes you from slavery to mass incarceration. And one of the, I had my middle son with me, and he was just in awe. He was in awe of it all. And one of the things they have is the telephones. You could pick up the phone and listen to listener tell his story about being arrested and what they went through. Then they had letters from other prisoners, that actual real letters. And one was from a 15-year-old boy that was begging his attorney or whoever to not forget that he was there, to remember that he was locked up. And what he was locked up for, nobody knows. And I could tell you now, probably nothing.
Like that boy for stealing that book bag, and he said because of the system. What did you hear about that in New York? And he was there for almost 18 months. And this, before they got to his case. This
boy had already been there for months, and he was saying, "Please don't forget that I'm here. Somebody, please don't." And I mean, it was pleading on the letter, and it was his real letter. And so my son was really shocked by that. But he was shocked, but he said that was not the most disturbing thing he saw. The most disturbing thing for him was the lynchings and watching the white families bring their families.
Picnics.
Like a picnic.
That's what it's called, picnickers.
And so...
they shortened it to picnic. It used to be pick-a-nigger.
He was saying that was the most disturbing for him, that they watched someone get lynched as a sport.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so...
I mean, for somebody to... And then...
it was a lot of white people there while we were there.
Right,
and I'm just saying they were learning, and I want to commend those white people that came, because my problem, what I said last week, is that how do you... fight
I think you need to let up a
supremacists?
little bit with them too, because there's probably more that are very supportive and Christians and those who
that's
want
not what I'm
not,
saying. I'm saying how do you fight white supremacists is by exposing them to what really happened, because some of the exposure. No, I'm saying to our culture.
I know what you're saying, but you take what's the name, Schlossberg or whatever. He don't care. You can take him straight through that museum. That joker gonna walk one door out the other.
Well, it's not about just the museum. It's about being exposed to people of different cultures. Because
hello, that's what the reason why I'm saying that. I think hold on, because we're agreeing. But what I'm saying to you is that even in a situation where he was exposed to something like that, instead of appreciating that and knowing that somebody was getting assistance because they couldn't speak English, or that's just what they wanted to say, the route that he went, you know what I'm saying? So,
and that's why
he was exposed.
Well, no, that's not exposed. That means you don't want to be a part of that. I'm saying being a part of something that makes you realize that people are different and that people come from different ways. Not because his thing was he didn't want them to speak English. He walked up to them. He didn't want to be exposed to them. So what I'm saying is they have to really try to learn other people so you can live here together on earth. But so from the Legacy Museum to the memorial. The memorial is outdoors, and it's recognizing the people who were lynched, stabbed, drugged by names with dates that were documented. And these are only the documented cases. So you can imagine the thousands that are not documented. So you have the county, they have the big blocks hanging from the ceiling with the county, the names, and the dates.
Well, that's good. And I would say this in closing the Hey Black Child segment is that our black children need to realize that it ain't nothing wrong with being black. All right, you got a little finance for us this week?
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the stock market. I know that the stock market is like a big giant that none of us really get involved with, because I never hear anybody talk about it except Stephanie when she mentioned that that's what her husband did. I was like, wow, okay, great. So the stock market is a high risk investment, and so it's a high risk, but it reaps high rewards. So you can earn a lot of money, but it's risky. It's not a safe investment. But one of the things, one of the tricks with the stock market that I found is that the longer you in it and you have the time to let your money sit and invest, the better your profits are. Because if you're looking for a quick turnaround, you can get that, or if you sit back and relax, have a diversified stock market plan portfolio, then you can let your money work for years for you without touching it.
I will tell you this. I had the most amazing, econ teacher in high school. And that's exactly what he did. So he started us off with a mock stock market. So
Yes.
we took the live stock market. This is back when Apple was big and stuff like that. And he taught us how to actually invest and do those things. And we had to do it as an assignment. And then at the end of it, a bank gave us, I think it was like $50 and something or whatever, and we did it. And I still have those stocks, and it's matured a lot, and I have a nice little,
I sold my stocks.
investment. So yeah, so I was really
But
glad.
I did right, because it was the highest that stock had went, and it was actually a bank stock. It was the highest it reached, and it has not went back that far.
So yeah, we probably need to try to do a little budget with that, and a little investment group. We got some ladies that we hang out with. Everybody put up $100, and we go in and start looking at some stuff. Hey, we might hit that, do that whole thing.
Oh, yeah, and it's good. One of the things that I found is that you have to do in the stock market is research what you want to invest in. Don't just pull somebody out the air. Yeah,
really?
but go
Come
ahead.
on. Speaking of education.
That's my responsibility.
Speaking of education, it's graduation time, y'all.
What?
Yes, and we've been going to a lot of graduations. I'll actually go to my niece's graduation on Thursday.
From where?
She will be graduating from Fort Walton Beach High School.
What?
Yes, okay.
Oh, that's my niece's graduation.
All right, so under
My
any
baby.
rate, it's graduation time, and I want parents to stop waiting until the very last minute to check on your kids and their academic status.
Great.
We've had so many parents come into guidance, request conferences with teachers, and seniors' last day was today. Okay? So they're scrambling to find alternative plans, trying to see if a kid can finish a class before graduation next Thursday. Come on, parents. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, that is why you're parenting them right now. I get that they're growing older and you're trying to give them responsibility, but you have a responsibility to continue to be their parent and provide them the best environment. Not just putting food on the table for them, not just disciplining them when they out here and taking their phones, but being a part of everything, every aspect, especially the academic side.
So when should they start, Keisha? City Keisha?
8th grade.
Okay.
So when they transition from 8th grade into high school,
9th grade.
okay, there are 9th graders now that literally are already in Algebra 2 coming into high school.
That was my
So
baby.
if you haven't
Algebra
had-
2 and geometry.
Right. So if you haven't had algebra and geometry in middle school or elementary school, if you're in some by the 8th grade, you're kind of behind the curve, and there's so many things. Now you don't have to. Some kids are just C students, baby. But if you're gonna be the C student, be the best one you can.
That's
Make
me.
every class weighted. Give me an honors class. Give me an AP class. Find a subject if I like history, if I like English, if I whatever, and get with it. But to sum it up, don't wait till the last minute. Hit us up if you need some help or some advice with that. I'm always available.
And make your senior year your year for make your senior year your year to really have everything ready. All you gotta do is coast through.
Yes, okay. Why you got to repeat what I said? Was it really
Yeah,
necessary? You just had to
repeat what you
have something to say? Okay. Ain't nobody got time for that, Keisha.
Ain't nobody got time for that. What we ain't got
Whatever.
time for?
We ain't got no time for that. That 65-year-old woman that got arrested, and that man was strong-arming her. He better be glad that was not my grandmother or my mother, because
Girl,
they
if that was my grandmama, I would flip the whole city over.
Or those two black men that got exonerated from their crimes that they were accused of. Oh my goodness.
Them brothers was crying and I was crying. Did you cry, City Keisha?
I did. We're going to have to talk about them on our next show, because we do need to dig a little bit deeper on that. But we want to thank you for being a part of this show and a part of this Keisha and Keisha trend. We're about to have a little merch. We're about to put together a little logo, put some stuff out, let some people get really, really gabbed about it with Keisha and Keisha. So, from the
outhouse
to the penthouse, we're out.
Two different point of views with the same name.
What they name is
Keisha.